So maybe I should just pull them into a camp. Look at all these nomads. Oh, here we go. This is good. This will be enough. It's not like quite as flashy as bringing it into a hostile camp. But whatever. Welcome to the party. Something weird about seeing a webbed tree in the desert. Yeah, I'm real happy we didn't do this. Didn't do this on our own. So the deal with these guys, if you want to really abuse their movement, is, so webnicks have, what is it, 11? Yeah, 11 action points, which is more than what you might expect, considering most things have 9. And their attack actually takes 6 AP. It's a well-armed caravan. Well, this is a caravan from the south, so it's very overpowered, basically, compared to northern caravans. Oh my god, I didn't even look. That's a sword lance, holy shit. It's pretty cool. But, yeah, so 6 AP, and they do have Pathfinder. So they move on the sand. Well, I guess it's 2 AP either way, but basically, if they move, you have to make them move 3 times, and then they can't attack or do anything, really. Alrighty, I think I am just gonna, like, duke it out with them, though, considering just how many conscripts there are, you know? Let's wait, though, and let the conscripts sort of engage. They should rush forward. Are they really backing off? No way! No way! Douchebags! Okay. Yeah, I agree entirely. That's like the best change in this patch. In this expansion. For sure. Alrighty. Unfortunately, my bow guy's going to be out in front a little bit, but this is so dumb. I have to force the caravan guys to actually engage. If there's one thing I could change about this game, it would have to be the caravan AI. The fact that they, instead of fighting, they want to back up and hide behind you. Which I realize makes sense, but at the same time, is just supremely unfun. Oh man, he's gonna be so surrounded, that's terrible. I'm gonna leave Ironward here. Bro, they're really backing up. Okay, good. They should rush forward now. Yeah, I was gonna hide behind them. I just kind of forgot that they would, I figured with this big of an army and the fact that they were Southern conscripts, I haven't seen them do this very often as the South. Yeah, that's what I typically do. It's just like, I made the mistake of shooting with Lumberlegs first, and now he's in a horrifying situation. I'm sort of tempted to riposte just because it abuses the AI and makes them not want to do anything to him. Could just swing. Let's wait, I guess, and kind of see how this turn develops. Okay, rupture. 59% chance. Nice. It's pretty good. Oh, look at that sword lance doing work. That's the weapon that I want, man. That's the one I want on my dedicated polearm dude. Okay, we're gonna wait with most people. Let the spiders get injured. Kind of steal kills here and there where we can. Okay, that was pretty based. They've redeemed themselves. Did you see that? They put him in a bad situation and then they redeemed themselves by getting him out of it. Pretty cool rotate there. PogChamp rotate. I can no longer hate these caravan bros. Even though they're stealing most of the kills, it's kind of a given when you do this. They just don't miss. They really don't. That's the bottom line, is they just have like, I bet you they have like 70 melee attack or something ridiculous. Guess I'm just shooting to increase my fast adaptation stacks, really. Whoa, whoops, there's indeed a guy next to me and I'm blind. Prefer passive allied AI rather than artificial idiots getting in the way of my maneuvers, taking better positions, getting killed, boosting enemy morale, and kill stealing. Yeah, that does sound like this game. Okay, couldn't spear wall there, not enough AP. Yeah, that's definitely caravan guard behavior. This is one of my better ideas, to pull these spiders into these guys, though. We're gonna get fat paid for this mission. Oh, he's just stunting on me with the footwork. How cool would it be if we had AoE and we could just kill this conscript somehow and take a sword? Should be able to make silk armor out of all these webs. Man, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Okay. Tell me not to buy the DLC. I can't really tell you not to buy the DLC. The DLC is legitimately good. I had a whole lot of bitching and moaning to do when it first came out because the South is an unpleasant place to be, sort of, but with that said, I mean, the amount of new content is really good, and once you get the hang of how to... What the fuck is going on here? Oh, I've cocked myself! No, no, no! I gave him polearm mastery, and guess what a speedum is? I always forget, it's a spear. So that cool move I was trying to do, not gonna happen, because the AP cost is not reduced to 5. I mean, the South is fun. It's just like nomads are really, really hard compared to raiders, I think. Mainly because outlaws spawn with just like way more two-handed weapons. But I mean, also it scales weirdly. I'll give you an example. The Indebted Uprising quest, as far as I can tell, just straight up does not scale at all. So if you take it at the beginning, you fight this massive ass army of Indebted, which will no doubt slaughter your group. And if you take it later, you fight this massive ass army of Indebted, which are basically the same size, and you just are essentially committing a giant war crime against them because they die in a huge morale cascade, you know? You brought more axes to early fights? Oh, are you breaking the Darga shields? Yeah, I had a whole theory crafting session where I was trying to figure out how to deal with that. And I determined, at least in my opinion, like axes didn't really seem to be the answer because it's just extra turns spent trying to break the shields. My current opinion is that the best way to deal with early nomads is kind of the same way that you deal with early anything else, which is taking fast adaptation before you do it. I mean, cutthroats are easy enough if you just don't happen to roll a ton of shields. Just bring spears and bomb rush. Yeah, spears are a necessity to just cut through the shield. South is a nice change to the usual pace and progression of the game. I agree. I mean, I tell you, I'm a lot less butthurt in general about the South now that I've played the expansion a little more and kind of understand how to how to handle it to some degree. Okay, sadly Enish doesn't really get a swing here, does he? Let's just be a good guy and free my conscript friend. Beast expansion was the worst experience on launch rather. So many ripped runs due to obscure mechanics. Well, what mechanics are you talking about? Like, were direwolves not a thing at in the base version of this game, or like what stuff did the Beast expansion actually? I know that Lindworms came about the same time, and Lindworms I imagine were not very fun to fight when you have no idea what the mechanics behind them are. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other beasts. Well, Alps, from what I've been told, were just kind of really goddamn dumb. Because from what I understand, like the original version of the Alp straight up put you to sleep forever, unless you physically manually woke up your ally, which strikes me as just insane. I'm not really surprised that got changed, because I mean that's like a ripped, you know, total party kill rip type situation, real easy. They did. It was the ranger was. Oh, wow, the range was longer. That's crazy. Wait, so they could do it. You couldn't see them, but they could see you, and they could do it to you. That's wild. No, I think they're very well balanced right now. Like they can definitely just kind of ruin your day if you don't plan properly. But I like how they are right now, where it's like if you play the fight perfectly, if you abuse nets, it's very unlikely that you're just going to randomly lose a bro. At the same time, and this doesn't make a lot of sense, but at the same time, if you happen to have a nimble, you know, enough nimble guys, Alps are pretty much a joke. It does strike me as slightly strange that, you know, this horrible nightmare demon fails to do as much damage to you because your guy is quick, you know? It's like, oh, I can dodge attacks. I guess I'll dodge this dream, this nightmare strike. Doesn't really make, it's not really realistic, but I can't complain, you know? The unholds? I mean, those are really tough, yeah. Although, I mean, the funniest thing about the unholds is, like, you can drag them to high-level camps and there's essentially nothing that they can't kill. You didn't know what to expect. So, unholds didn't exist at all until Beasts and Exploration. That's... yeah, I imagine without planning for that fight, you get GG'd really quickly. I mean, especially the frost ones. The lower level ones you can just kind of fight, and as long as you notice that they're regenerating, you're gonna understand you need to focus one down and they will just die, but the frost ones are just really strong. Unholds in forests. I would never want to fight an unhold in a forest. So shouldn't everybody in the world of Battle Brothers be immune to nightmares? But yeah, like, try dragging 4 frost unholds into literally any camp on the map. And like 9 times out of 10, holy shit, that's a big raid. Wow. 371. Somebody likes Battle Brothers. What's up, Arvius? Thank you for the raid, man. I appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed my incredibly loud alert message there. Got a little Beast Slayers run going here. Yeah, boy, indeed. I think that might be the biggest raid that I've had. Battle Pros, yeah. You just get done with your run or something? I will. Thanks again. Told my roommates it was porn, it was easier to explain. Yeah, man. I mean, that's kind of half right. There was, I mean, Billy Harrington was there, so it's basically accurate. Anyway, this was a 3-skull beast mission, so I dragged this gigantic group of like 20 spiders into this caravan. I'm not actually on a caravan run right now, I just sort of found these dudes. And hopefully we will get a ton of spider loot from doing this. Okay, I don't actually know if you can get spider loot from the ones that spawn from the eggs. But we're gonna try to secure the kills anyway. What, took 3 days? Oh, to drag them down here? I thought it was only like a day. Although I was kind of indecisive about whether I wanted to pull them to, you know, like a hostile camp. And I ended up deciding not to do that because every single time I've tried to pull a group of enemies that are faster than me, like serpents or... I haven't tried spiders, but serpents or really anything that has more than 9 AP. Oh wait, actually serpents I think only have 9 AP. In any event, you just have to be careful when you're pulling hostiles into a third-party sort of hostile camp, which is funny because it's like one of the coolest things you can do to get famed items really early. Like I dragged Noxerares into a camp of bandit raiders on like day 5 at one point, and got like a 330 famed armor off of it, which was super super cool. But I didn't really want to try my luck with that with something that could potentially freeze my dudes with webs, you know? Because then you'll just end up fighting like essentially 2 fights in a row. It does certainly feel really sort of abusive, Bobby Snobby, for sure. Like you're like more abusing the AI than you are playing a game. On the other hand, I do genuinely think it's like super fun, you know, in terms of it sort of feels good to make two groups on the map fight each other, you know. Takes a long time to pull off. Oh yeah, that can definitely happen. And sometimes you really just want to pull the perfect thing. I was saying before the raid came in, I was talking about how, you know, like a set of 4 or more Froststone holds can kill almost any camp on the map pretty much single-handedly. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the game is absolutely tough, and there's a lot of RNG in it, and it's just incredibly punishing, and I think that as a result of that, you totally should take pretty much every little advantage that the game throws at you. You should abuse it. Hey, thank you for the follow, Hippie TV. Alright, so despite my Beast Slayer's origin bonus, we didn't get that many pieces of loot here, but that's okay. We didn't kill all that many spiders. Smiling Tower, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, man. They'd patch it out if they don't want it. Oh, yeah, for sure. It's definitely intended. I mean, this game has been out long enough, and I mean, that's been the meta for long enough that there's no way that they would have left it in. I agree entirely. So here's our thief tank. Let's see. Arvius gave us a raid, so let's name him. I was kind of disappointed with this dude's stats. Wait, no, not this one. I was disappointed with this guy's stats, which is why his name is Meat. I like to hire thieves because their base defense is really high. Like, base defense of 7 is quite nice. Base defense of 12 at level 1 is insane. I'm just sad about this dude because he had 3 stars in range, which is just sort of weird when your base is 38. This dude's going to be awesome, though. Star in melee defense, star in fatigue. He'll be okay. The big thing about him is that his base defense was 12, which I think is a total max roll. In addition, you know, if you add the star, we're just going to have a very tanky bro. Hey, thank you for the follow, Intrepid Defiance. If anybody wants me to name a bro after them, just let me know, and I will do that. I do have a few slots open. Hey, thanks for the follow, man. Alright, so Let's see, what do we want to do with this dude? We definitely want to get melee defense. He didn't exactly min roll with melee skill, but he didn't max roll either. We'll give that to him because he's really quite low. He needs his resolve fixed. Yeah, the resolve is pretty bad. Although I'm very inclined to take max rolls. We want to get this up to like 50, so I think I will. Go ahead and take this. Name one of them Defiance. Absolutely. Let's see, who do we have? You know what? Despite my best efforts, this guy has not managed to get himself killed. He started out as a beggar who was kind of bad, and now he's... You know, he's got a base melee defense of 17 at this point without a shield on, so he's becoming tolerably useful. So, I suspect he'll be around for a while. I hired him on day 1 to just kind of be a meat tank, and he never died. He does have Paranoid, which is pretty cool. Let me ask you something to see if I'll follow. What do you think of the bear headpiece? Are you talking about the, like the famed item? Or are you talking about, like, the one that barbarians have? Like the non-famed, just the 50 armor, no vision, 50 durability? I mean, it's good. It's got, low fatigue, it's doesn't have a vision penalty, so you can give it to archers. It looks nice. I mean, it reminds me of Fallout New Vegas, actually. I probably wouldn't like use it on a frontliner because I'm gonna want to min-max and not get guys killed. But I mean, yeah, if you get it in the early game, it's really good to use. Good aesthetics for sure. The only thing that matters is that it looks cool. Well, thank you for the follow. I did say that as part of my answer. So yeah, so how I'm building my guys is, in the early game I give everybody fast adaptation, which I realize is probably not ideal for the ultra late game, but it makes the early game so much more tolerable, it's not even funny. I was so frustrated with Battle Brothers before I started doing that, and now it just doesn't feel nearly as bad. It just totally fixes these bros with bad melee skill. And even when you have good melee skill, this guy has 70, that's pretty respectable at this point. Even then, fast adaptation is really good. And honestly, even in the late game, I think it's going to have value because there is stuff like sword masters and blade dancers and things with like 80 melee defense. So, and you know, shield walling ancient dead and things like that, to where when missing gives you, what is it, like 10% chance to hit. And it stacks. It's just really good. That, and I have this cheesy thing I plan on doing, and by the way, let's set that up now. Here it is. So I gave this guy quick hands, and I gave him polearm mastery. So if I pop a little polearm on him, what this means is I can shoot with this bow, and even if I miss, which honestly I'd prefer, I've built up a stack of fast adaptation, and then when the actual fight starts, you know, and the things charge me, I just swap to this, and I can shoot, and I can swap and attack with both in the same turn. Although I'd really like to give him something that's not a pitchfork, like a polearm that's not bad. Maybe a pike or billhook would be ideal, perhaps. Yeah, beast hunters are really good. This is our starting team, our starting beast hunters from the Beast Slayer's origin. We have one that's like super great. This one actually has huge and drunkard. I will be honest, Bobby Snobby actually suggested the seed for this, and he said it was good, so I named him. He said that there was a huge drunkard beast slayer in this seed, which is why I took it. I didn't realize his stats would be so amazing too. You know, like the stars on these dudes are really quite good. But we've also hired some pretty decent dudes, like this farmer is going to make a really good nimble tank with his 3 stars in hit points. And even a star in melee skill, you know? Yeah, Drunkard Huge is going to be awesome. My ideal plan is indeed to... what I'm actually going to do with him is I'm going to give him a sword lance, and my ideal situation with him is I'm going to be hitting 3 things per turn. Maybe pop like Berserk on him as well. You know, so when he gets a kill, he'll be able to do it again. Sword lances are really, really good. That's why we gave him polearm mastery. But I mean, even a pike I'd be happy with for the moment. Does Swordlance have enough base damage to make it worth it? I think it's approaching Billhook tier. Actually, you know what? Let's look that up real fast. I have the wiki open in another window. So the base damage of a Swordlance non-famed is 60 to 80. So, I mean, I'd say yeah. It's not bad. It's a little lower than a Billhook, I think. Maybe higher than nerfed Billhook. Wait for named weapon. Well, we've already given him polearm mastery, but that's mostly for that trick I just described. But yeah, I agree. I think if we found like a named reach weapon, it would be ideal. Named Billhook, named Swordlance, something like that. I mean, if we keep Drunkard on him, which we will. I mean, Drunkard Huge is just really fun. If I wanted to be really cheeky, we could actually increase his damage even further by giving him Executioner. I gave Crippling Strikes to Lumberlegs here. My plan with this guy is to build him into having a handgun, and we're going to do Crippling Strikes and Overwhelm and Fearsome, and basically do that kind of meta that people have been enjoying in the new expansion. They aren't that rare now. Nomads and Ancient Dead can drop maimed polearms. Ah, sweet. Oh, the mushroom. Ah, I forgot about the mushroom. Good point. Alright, so our endless quest for a taxidermist continues. There is a kennel down here. You know what? I'm gonna head south. We're gonna see if we can't maybe find the southern city with the arena and do an arena fight with our Beast Slayer bros. But also, this gives me a chance to buy a dog, and while I really didn't want to spend any money, I do want to have at least one dog. So I can not get cheesed out of loot, you know? Something running away. Can't chase it down. That will not happen again. At least until my dog dies. Alright, I went all the way down here and then I turned back to finish that quest. I probably should have kept going just to see how far the town was. You'll note that I'm playing on unexplored map mode. Let's go down here. Goblin Raiders. Do I want to take this fight? Ambushers and skirmishers. Ambushers are the archers. There's 10 dudes here, so we're probably looking at 5 of each. We killed some raiders earlier, some goblins earlier, but the problem with that was we had a caravan helping us at the time, which was pretty huge. We didn't lose anybody. And these are just like low-level raiders. The reason I want to do it is because if we could get some more of these pikes, that would be so good. Just really, really good. And the skirmishers often do have them. Tell you what we're going to do. They think that I'm easy pickings, so they're chasing me. So, we're going to have a little fun with this. Ah! The soldiers came. I didn't want soldiers to come out. I think they're moving faster than the raiders. Something kind of funny you can do, and I don't know if this is a bug or not, but I can press fall back here. Okay, I can move forward a little bit, press fall back, move forward a little bit, press fall back, and it's like I'm harrying them. And it makes logical sense to me, but it might be a bug. I know they made this harder to do. Here we go, they're fighting now. Boom. But they didn't take it out of the game entirely, so I'm convinced that it's like you're supposed to be able to do it. And it's just meant to be something that's kind of an Easter egg in order to slow things down so you can sort of abuse the three-way fights more. Alright, I just heard dogs. And I think it was the sound effect for the goblin wolves rather than regular dogs, which doesn't make a lot of sense because it didn't say wolf riders, so maybe it was just the warhounds or whatever. Hey, I think with the follows, Zul 7. Appreciate that, man. So yeah, we're abusing another three-way fight. That's fine with me. Even if we just pick off like 1 or 2 kills, that's cool. But the big thing is... hey, what's up, man? The big thing is I would really like to pick up one more Jagged Pike if one's available. Although this company, I kind of was trying to avoid them spawning in like this. I didn't want to fight a three-way fight with them already in combat. I wanted it to happen with them in the same sort of side as me. But this is okay. It just means that I'm going to get less kills. Okay, I don't see any pikes. Yeah, we've got a 0 pike situation. This is not a waste of time by any means, though. I mean, we will get fat paid off any weapons we can get. It's just that we won't be using any of them, you know? Honestly, I don't think any goblin weapon is really worth using except for the pike. I mean, the sword dagger is kind of cute, but the damage is really just not high enough. Although I will say that if you do like a Southern Caravan mission, even on day 1 you can kill goblins, and if you get the sword daggers at that point, it's kind of a cool way to rush yourself into decent damage daggers to puncture and get armor and stuff from raiders, in my experience. Obviously you can't really engineer that situation, you just kind of have to see if it happens, but I've seen that happen on a couple of my starts. Where'd this guy's helmet go? I guess he just started without one. Okay, pop up on the high ground here. And again, a little kill there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and rush in on my guys with armor and shields. They shouldn't surround me like a lot of these guys are archers. We're just kind of going in to harry these range guys, because otherwise they're going to run away as soon as the front line dies. Goblin sword is okay too, it's like a slightly worse arming sword. That's true, Goblin sword does have a pretty good stat line, huh? And I mean, it has the plus 10% accuracy, you know, like any other sword, so I could see that for sure. Man, they really want me. I'm a little surprised that the company was small, but I'm a little surprised they didn't clean these guys up faster. We're actually going to get a pretty decent number of kills here. Hello, 53%. Alright, so we don't get to hit from here. Just go over here, I guess. Nope. I could have waited, I suppose, and given this guy a little more defense penalty by surrounding him with dudes, but this is fine. Let's move this guy here. Miss. Man, I'm very jealous of that pike. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to swing. Plus 10% chance to attack. Oh, just kidding. I can't abuse this. I forgot I'm poisoned. In fact, this is kind of really dangerous, so let's move back a little bit. I should have walked away with all of his AP, actually. But that's cool. I'm gonna move here, and that means only this guy can attack with range. Unless they footwork away, which will steal one of their shots, because that takes AP to do. Nice try, bruh. They're actually getting really good punctures against the footmen. These fights are really making me want to, like, bring some kind of AoE weapon just so I can sort of cheese the, like, cheese and kill my own allies to take their weapons, but Generally, I don't think that's worth the trouble. Okay, let's do this. Holy shit. Okay. Wonderful misfire there. No, you can 100% loot your own allies if you got the killing blow. There's a lot of really, honestly, bizarre logic with regards to looting in this game, which basically boils down to, did you get the kill? So if I were to, for example, use handguns and sort of friendly fire, I could actually take loot off my allies. Another interesting thing, and this is the weirdest thing. Apparently bleeding always counts as a kill for you. So if you just sort of sit at the edge of combat and something like, let's say, hyenas, and you know, generally you don't want to do this because hyenas are really fast, but let's say that for whatever reason you come up on a hyena fight that's fighting a bunch of southern armies or whatever. If any of the southern armies die to bleeding, you will actually get the kill and the loot. It's really strange. You get experience for it, everything. Another thing they changed recently, and you may be right, they may have changed that, I'm not sure. But another thing that I'm sure they changed recently, and I don't agree with this change, is that, hey Niche, thank you for the follow, man. Is that if you... Something I used to do, which, I mean, was not super optimal, but I thought was fun, was I would go in on third-party fights, and I would kill, informative stream pog, yeah, there you go. I would go in on, like, these three-way fights, right? And then if it was something I just couldn't handle, like some big-ass army versus some enemies that scared the hell out of me, like it's day one and there's raiders or something and I don't want to risk it, I would pull like one or two raiders off to the edge of the map, and I would just like kill one or two raiders, take the weapons, and just flee. And back before this expansion, that would work just fine, but for whatever reason... for whatever reason, that it just kind of vanishes from your inventory now, if you do that. It doesn't make any goddamn sense, but I have a feeling that they put that in there because of the arena mechanics, so that you can't pick up the weapons that were dropped in the arena and then just kind of bail and win the fight and get the loot, even though you're not supposed to get the loot. But it is kind of unfortunate because it's not super realistic, if you ask me. And it feels kind of bad to not be able to play as a scavenger, but it's not like a huge impact on the game or anything. Alright, so wonderful, wonderful max roll here, except cancel. This is my ranger. I can't keep forgetting that I'm supposed to be getting ranged with him. I don't think I've actually clicked through at any point, but that's like the third time I've almost taken melee skill. Although it wouldn't really hurt me too much to take melee skill on this guy at some point. Yeah, we started with him. I think you always have a guy who's inclined to archery in the Beast Slayer start. Yeah, so what I've been doing with him is I've been taking, well, I actually haven't been taking melee defense, but I think I probably will because that's a max roll. I've been taking ranged, of course. I've been taking resolve because we're going to make him fearsome, and I've been taking initiative. But both of these rolls are low enough. I think I might just want to make this sort of a defensive level up. I mean, that's a max roll on HP, that's a max roll on melee defense, so if he ends up in a poor situation, which does happen, he's less screwed, you know? So we're going to do that. He also gets a perk. I could take the mastery that I'm ultimately looking for, but of course that doesn't help us too much with the hunting bow. Bow mastery I don't think is really useful at all at this point in the game. Honestly, the only thing that I really care about with regards to bow mastery... Hey, thank you for the follow, Trenchgun. The only thing I care about with bow mastery is sniping down hexes and sniping down necromancers, and I'm sure there's other uses for it, but that's really all I use it for. Crossbow mastery, on the other hand, is pretty sweet. Just kind of passes through armor to a huge extent. I think that's actually the highest AR penetration in the entire game if you get like a heavy crossbow, and then you get mastery as well. And of course, the firearms portion of it is just sort of required to have a good time with handguns. But we don't have the money to buy any of that stuff, and we simply do not have a crossbow. So, the real question is, what do I want to do with this level up? Everyone sleeps on X-bows. Now, X-bows are great. I mean, just being able to waltz right through the enemy's armor is pretty sick. I bet you, and I haven't tested this, but I bet you that orcs are gonna have a really bad time against a heavy crossbow guy. What? Oh no. This is, I bet this is like a special Beast Slayer event. Just like finding a bunch of dead people. So it didn't really do anything bad or good for me, just kind of a sad thing to find. Anyway, you'll note I didn't pick that perk yet. I want to see what's going on down here. Is this the arena? This is the arena. There's also 2 events here. There's a caravan heading back north. We'll probably take that when we're ready to leave. And a nomad mission, which I think we are probably strong enough to do at this point, even if it's got outlaws in it. Oh man, what do I do here? I don't think I've ever seen this, but maybe it's possible there's like a really cheap handgun. Alright, so there's no ambush here, unfortunately. There's no secret handgun. There is a composite bow, 40 to 55, which is worse than the hunting bow, but much better than the level 1 bow, which I always forget the name of. Short bow, I think it's called. Totally buying a net. Nets are great. In fact, let's give our quick hands guy the net, right? Boom. Anything else worth getting? Wow, that Warfork's probably worth purchasing. I'm really trying to save money for this banner, though. We could go ahead and sell all this crap, although without an ambush settlement situation, I really don't want to. It's very strange because sometimes I'll start an origin, right? And I'll play through and like almost every single city has an ambush all the time until you solve it. But then I play this, and it's very strange because I don't think I've seen a single ambush. Go to the money vendor and buy more money? Ah, good idea. See, 25 to 40. And bolus are not worth using. Okay, hey look, there's our handgun for 4,000 gold. Getting worse prices because we're Beastmaster. Firelance. Let's see what's the arena mission. 2 retired desert bandits. We're gonna get fat paid for this, or potentially lose all 3 of our best bros. You guys ready to lose? Alrighty, so we're gonna send in our beast boys. They're certainly our best guys. And we're gonna equip them with our best stuff. Okay, so we're gonna give him the pike. It's gonna be kind of weird bringing an archer into this. Also, instead of the short sword, should probably give him the cruel falchion. Okay, so we're taking Bobby Snobby, we're taking Lumberlegs, we're taking Orin, who, even though he has 70 melee skill, I suspect should be using a boar spear. Quick question, is there a way to get rid of negative traits? It depends on which negative trait it is. The ailing trait, for example, can be removed by, like, monk events. If you have a monk in the party, I think there's a couple other backgrounds that can do it. There's a chance that your ailing bro will just sort of stop being ailing, forever. And drunkard you can remove, addict you can remove, superstitious and insecure, I don't think superstitious can be removed. I do think that insecure can be removed. I know that dumb can be removed. If you have like a smart bro, like a historian, or I think a monk, there's a chance that the dumb bro can stop being dumb. You can remove old. That's not really a trait though. That's technically considered to be a permanent injury. Dastard can be removed if you're really lucky. I hadn't heard of that one, but so yeah, I mean maybe if you want, you can go to the wiki, and if you just sort of search the events, usually it would be an event that fixes that. And if you just like search for the trait, it'll probably tell you. Actually, it's probably under the trait itself. Now that I think about it, yeah, there's no real way to get rid of superstitious, I guess. But on the other hand, I mean, it's not really that bad of a trait, you know. Definitely not worth throwing a brother away if he's otherwise great. The bank faction with the southern expansion. Yeah, I thought loans were a pretty cool idea when somebody in my chat suggested it a while back. Alright, so we're not just sitting here. I'm trying to decide what to do with this guy's perks still. We know for a fact we can't do anything with the crossbow mastery just yet. Do I just sleep on the perk? And gosh, if I wanted to be really cute, we could give him throwing mastery and maybe use nomad sling, you know? That's actually a staff sling, not a nomad sling, but the nomad sling is shockingly good for what it is. I suppose we could just sort of like take gifted and call it a day, you know? Because then that'll give us a boost right now. I just wish we had the gun already. Let's plan him out. Okay, so we have this perk, and then we have, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, actually, because of student. So, 7 more perks, right? Not counting this one, so 8 more perks. So, 1 for mastery, 2 for gifted, 3 for overwhelm, 4 for fearsome. I mean, yeah, I've got a lot of wiggle room here. I'm probably gonna want to take executioner at some point, I guess. I'm just gonna take gifted. It's really hard to say no, you know, to gifted. Like, it's such a power boost, you know. Take that resolve, take that initiative. Okay. Alright, based. Alrighty, so fighting in the arena, your positioning does matter. Believe it or not. So what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to we'll just move these guys out of the line. And their position relative to each other matters. This will also kind of stick me at the edge of the arena, which I don't care too much about, but it's whatever. Yeah, Boar Spear. He's going to hit every single attack, probably with 70 melee skill in the Boar Spear. This should be good enough. Four spiders is really not that bad, I think, for an arena fight. The arena's cool because you can just make so much money for such little effort, but the unfortunate thing about it is there's certain fights you just don't want to take. Okay, so we're gonna have Orin just like stand in front of these two guys and hopefully block them both while these guys attack from behind. Should be good. Let's give the crowd something to cheer for. Alright, so got a double grip Boar Spear guy and a Sapar shield plus light southern mace. So there's no two-handed weapons, which is kind of the thing I was most afraid of, so I'm very happy about that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna be cheesy bastards here for as long as the game will let me. Nice. So look how much crippling strikes. Remember, I took crippling strikes on him. It's like just paying off in dividends, basically. Every time I attack, I get a... Hey, thank you for the follow, Jazolia. Every time I attack with that bow, And it's not even like a top tier weapon, but it's good. Every time I attack with it, I'm getting an injury. It's huge. Okay, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Hey, where the follows, Wolfman? What a great raid this was. Okay, so we're in melee now. They had enough of my kiting. We're gonna attack. We're gonna swap. Quick hands makes it not take AP. We're gonna swing. Pretty great, right? Alright, now this guy's kind of maneuvering to make me have a bad day by coming up in melee with my archer. And while I could just whip out my goblin sword, I really don't want to be in melee with him. So I think I'm gonna sacrifice my AP by moving here and then shoot. We actually get another injury. Based. I have this theory that taking crippling strikes and executioner on all your bros just makes any fight where injuries are a thing much easier. And it's something I kinda want to do, you know, in a lot of cases. Alright, so let's see about this. 2, 4, 6. I almost want to spear wall here because that'll force him into a position where he doesn't get an attack. 2, 4, 6, 8. I mean, he can end up next to this guy, but he can't attack if I spear wall. He'll probably try his luck, and he'll probably get through my spear wall, to be honest, but let's just see what happens. Oh no, he doesn't try his luck. Okay. He's a dirty cheater, so he uses the sand thing, which is fine. Let's wait with the archer. Let's wait with Bobby Snobby. Let's go up, the goal of which was to decrease his defenses. If I wanted to, I could shove him, but, well, I don't know. Bobby's head armor is really kind of terrible, so it is a little worrying to have him next to this dude. Let's just wait, I think. Fire twice. Boom. Every hit, an injury. Yeah, buddy. Okay, so that didn't really do any damage. If that had done really good damage, I might have swung with Orin. But instead we're going to shove. So notice how I've set this up to where there's almost no risk, you know? And granted, we could have missed with the shove, but it's not super likely, especially at 70 melee attack. You've seen 100 melee skill soldiers who missed it multiple times in a row. Well, yeah, it's terrible when that happens, and I won't try to pretend it doesn't, but thankfully it didn't this time. Okay. Let's rearrange our bros. It's really strong on peasants because it scales with the number of attacks. What now? Are we talking about fast adaptation? Also, Wolfman, what were we saying about my microphone? Suffers from sharp S. You know, I keep getting told this, not really that often, but every so often somebody comes in and says that. And I would really love to fix it. So if you wanna PM me at some point, or show up in my Discord, or I mean just over Twitch is fine. I mean, what I've done is I was always under the impression that that's what's called a microphone pop, and to fix that I have put a sock over my microphone, and that fixed it apparently for some people, but other people, they have certain headphones that for whatever reason it just still happens. So I would love to figure out how to resolve that. Maybe it's just I secretly have a speech impediment or something, but I mean, if it is the microphone, I'd like to resolve it. It's not a cheap microphone, so I'm sure that if it is an issue with the tech, then it's some kind of setting I could resolve, you know. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there. All right, so Orin leveled up. He's 5 now. Higher thread count? What? Microwave it for 45 seconds to solve it. Oh, okay, I'll get right on that. Alright, so we'll take the melee defense. We'll take the hit points. It's kind of a low roll for melee. Max fatigue, we always get the 4. And 50 is kind of my break point for resolve. So, I don't really need to get more of that, you know. I think I'll probably take the fatigue. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Zalaro. Let's see, having more melee skills is never really a bad thing. But, let's see, is this guy gonna be like a shield dude? I think he is, even though his melee defense is really not particularly amazing. Which means that fatigue would be really quite good for him. Also, his fatigue is extremely low right now, particularly with this armor on. So if I end up giving him even heavier armor than this, then it's going to be a big issue. He's probably going to be a nimble guy, considering that his hit points are pretty good. Let's just take the fatigue, I think. And as far as perks go, weapon mastery is available for him too. I don't necessarily think that it's always the right choice to, you know, take the bottommost perk. When you see that your weapon masteries have opened up, you know, it's kind of instinct to take one of them, and some of them are incredibly powerful, like Dagger Mastery, for instance, immediately gives you an extra attack, and kind of opens up puncturing a little more because the fatigue cost becomes lower. That's super cool. Whereas something like Axe Mastery, you're not going to get as much value out of unless you're really trying to break shields early, which you're probably not. So it's not necessarily ideal to rush to a weapon mastery. Sometimes it's better to just sort of take Shield Expert or something, you know, or even Gifted, or even something in the top level. You know, we've seen how much value we've been getting out of Crippling Strikes. Hey, Hilaria, thank you for the follow, man. In this particular case, I don't really know what I want to do. I'm really not sure what I want to do with this particular bro. Kind of a generic frontline type guy. Hey, thanks for the follow. Not sure how to say that name. Yeah, let's see. He's, Currently, he's just sort of sitting around with a... I don't even think I had this boar spear on him. I had, yeah, I had him with the flail. What we could do... Oh, no! No, there's a spider following me! It's not good. No, thanks, man. Alrighty, so something I like to do, I've been kind of workshopping this, is I kind of like to take a Dagger Master really early, just so we can immediately start getting punctures, you know? Something kind of funny with that is you could take that, and then you could take, assuming you get to it quickly enough, you could take Fearsome, and then you're doing, you know, physical damage to them every single time. You're breaking through their armor for sure if you hit. So that's like three Fearsome hits, you know, every single turn, which is pretty great. But on top of that, just getting this immediately kind of opens up the idea that I will be able to grab armor really quickly. So I think that's what I'm going to do with this dude. It's kind of a shame because his defense is never going to be particularly amazing. So, but if I just leave a shield on him, he'll do well enough. So I think, and plus he's got dodge, so his defense is higher than it looks. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make him a Dagger Master, probably like a nimble type guy. And now we immediately get an extra attack per turn with him, which is really, really amazing. I'm going to try to prioritize finding a Rondel to give him, or maybe even a Catal Dagger, but probably a Rondel. It's iffy that that'll ever happen, because Rondels are, in my experience, just crazy rare, but a man can dream. Alrighty, so I've changed around my boar spears and stuff a little bit. I gave this flail to the guy with the highest melee skill. Thank you for the follow. So, I mean, 70 is a lot higher, but we have a mastery on him now, so we want to give that to him. Alrighty. I think that's about it for, you know, bookkeeping here with the items. Still trying to avoid selling things if I can. However, wait a minute. My crowns are... Did you know that there are many ways that you can help support this channel? Read about them on rosecrypto.com/support. At Rose Crypto, you can learn all about cool things like the Brave web browser, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.